Hey, good morning everybody. We are going to do a video on how much should you invest. That's the badass that I've told you all about in my other videos. Carla, she works for me. Hey Carla, how much money should we invest? How much is too much or how much is too little?
Invest everything you got.
Boom, there you have it. See, and she likes Ford. She plays Ford every day. Puts, calls, this, that.
Yep.
I don't understand any of that. That's why I stick with real estate, but she does the stock picking. Okay, today, how much to invest, okay? What I'm about to share with you has helped me tremendously as far as figuring things out. I get this question all the time, and this principle can be applied to numerous tasks, undertakings, goals that we have that we're going to come across throughout our life. The biggest thing is so many people don't want to make a mistake, and fear keeps them sitting right where they're at and they never make a move. You know, I hear people all the time with dump trailers, well, how much would I charge for this? It doesn't matter how much you know, people ask me, what would you charge? It doesn't matter what I would charge. How much do you need to make is a question you need to ask yourself. And so I say all of this in the sense of what I call reverse engineering, okay? Figure out where you want to go, the end goal, the destination, the final point, where you're at. Oh my gosh, look at that. Between my two hands, the path it's been discovered as far as what to do and how to get there. Let's take a look at this. Okay. We're working towards financial independence because we want to be able to have what? A better life. More choices, be able to help more people. Nobody ever said, you know what, I'm glad I don't have enough money to send my kid to Yale. I'm sending them to the junior college right down the street. Nobody says that. Nobody says, hey, I'm glad I couldn't afford a car with without power windows and door locks and air conditioning, you know, all that stuff and everything. Nobody says that. They just don't, okay? Money will not make you happy. However, money affects everything that you do. Even if you want to go to the woods, butt naked, and stay there for the rest of your life, living off the land and everything, somebody, some way, somehow, you have to be transported there. And so the possibility of you just leaving your house, walking naked to the wilderness, and never getting picked up and incarcerated, I'm betting that it ain't going to happen. So somebody had to pay for the clothes on your back. I'm just saying, no matter what we do, it costs money. Okay? So here's the thing is, what do I want to do? Okay? I'm just going to use this figure. I want to be able to live on $60,000 a year when I retire. That's what I want to be able to spend. Okay, great. So let's ask ourselves, what do we need to do to make that happen? All right. Maybe we're going to get Social Security. We'll say that's $1,200 a month. And then we got a 401k that we're going to be able to draw from. And we'll just say we get $3,000 a month from that. So now we got $4,200, which means we have to come up with another $1,800 per month. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that I'm going to do? Where am I going? Where do I want to be? Okay. Now, here's the thing is for you to have $60,000 a year to be able to spend comfortably invested in the stock market, you're looking at having to have $1.4 million invested. Generally speaking, you can get a 4% return and take away from the principal and it not diminish. Okay, a lot of 401ks and stocks right now are turning out 10, 12, 14%. Well, the thing is that we have fluctuations, okay? If you decide to retire in a down economy with a recession, you can't count on having 12, 14% returns. You might be down to having 3 or 4% returns, okay? But on average, you can take out 4% and it not mess with the principal, because once you start spending the principal, then the amount of money that you can take out every month goes less and less, okay? But please keep in mind, if you take $40,000 a year out of that, you're having to pay taxes on that 40 right there. So it's not actually $40,000 you get to spend, okay? Probably going to be closer to about 30 to 32 after you pay taxes and everything like that. The reason that I say all of this is that, like, I've got a plan. In the next 5 years, I plan on being done. I'm not going to be waking up and grinding and everything like that. I'm going to be taking more time off, more trips, doing what I enjoy, okay? And the thing about it is that I've got a plan as far as how I want my house. You know, doing part of that bathroom has been part of it. Put the second bathroom in, get it finished up and everything. Guess what? Next phase, big deck on the back of the house. I want to be able to do some entertaining. I see, you know, Sunday mornings having people over, big grill on the back, cooking breakfast and everything. Everybody's just having a good time. That's something that I want to do. So we're going to have that deck built before I retire. I really don't want any big projects left over when I retire, okay? So the thing is that we have to ask ourselves, where do we want to end up at, all right? I know personally that if I don't put stuff like that bathroom on the schedule, it would never get done. The thing was that bathroom had been in construction, in transition for about 9 months, because I'd keep putting it off and doing other people's stuff. Then we'd work on my rental properties and this and that and everything. So that's what ends up happening. So, but again, figure out where it is that you want to go and then do the math on how to get there, okay? So if you want to be able to have $60,000 a year to be able to spend in retirement, you're going to have $1.4 million in the stock market, okay? Now, you can actually have a lot less invested in my town through real estate. You could have, if you had $500,000 and went out and bought rental houses, you could actually generate more than $60,000 a year, okay? Now, all of that money is going to be in those houses. I don't know if you're comfortable with that. These are all questions that you need to ask yourself. And I tell people all the time, they're like, you know, well, what do you think I should charge for taking that load? And it's like, it doesn't matter what I think. It only matters what you think. And the other thing is that I've got a video on how I price loads with shingles. And so it gives you the math. And the thing about it is that if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he can eat for the rest of his life. I want somebody to be eating for the rest of their lives, you know. And I don't want anybody waking up and saying, you know what, I'd really like to have a ribeye, but I'm going to have a hot dog today because I just can't afford it, you know, because I was living large most of my life. And I hear this stuff all the time. It's like, you know, I was talking to a guy that's got a big house in a real exclusive neighborhood here in my town and everything, and he's talking about getting this metal roof on it and everything. It's extremely expensive. It's like $42,000, you know, but I mean, this is like a $500,000 house. I don't understand how you can have a $500,000 house and not write a check for $50,000, okay? But this guy told me, he said, well, I'm gonna have to wait to the beginning of the year when my bonus comes in. And I'm like, what do you mean your bonus? And he said, well, you know, I get a bonus from work and everything. It's about $32,000. I can put a little bit with it and everything. And I'm like, how does that happen? You know, you're spending money that you don't even have yet, you know? And he asked me, he said, well, you know, how can we reduce the cost of this? And I said, well, we can get shingles. He said, no, I got to have a metal roof and everything. He said, well, let me ask you this. How about if we do metal on the front of the house and then we'll put shingles on the back of the house? And I was like, that's possible. And you know why he wants to do that? Because everybody sees the front of the house. He wants to look like he's $1 million, but he's not. He's broke. All right, and probably more than likely living paycheck to paycheck and got more house than he will ever need in this lifetime. And I see it all the time. I come across it all the time. People have houses and they need to get a new roof and they can't because they don't have the money for it, okay? Owning a home is extremely expensive. There's a lot of things that happen with a home, and here's the other thing is that just over time, your roof is going to wear out, okay? Your air conditioner is going to wear out. Your water heater is going to wear out. If you're in an older home like I got with galvanized pipes, you know, I'm already anticipating the next year or two, I got to replumb the whole place, okay? So once I start on I get my bathroom completed, then we're going to go ahead and replumb the whole house, because I'm going to start on the kitchen. I know exactly how I want my kitchen to be and everything like that. So I say all of this to you to say, plan, you know, figure out exactly where you want to be, and then the path to get there is going to become clear, okay? So if I was a young man with what I know today, okay, I'd start investing a couple $100 a month into the stock market, into an index fund, and just let it sit there and grow and grow and grow, okay? I didn't start when I was extremely young, and I actually did buy my first house before I turned 21, okay? Unfortunately, I didn't have the mindset that I do today, because that house would rent for $1,000 a month, and you know, I had a house payment of $225, and I bought the house for $25,000, and I moved out of town. I didn't want to be bothered with it. I was like, I don't want it, you know. And somebody bought it for exactly what I paid for it, and I thought I was doing good because I'd gotten rid of that burden. Well, if you're pushing a wheelbarrow full of money, yeah, it's going to be a burden on the lower back and everything, but let me have that problem every day of the week. So, it's Robert with the Rental Robert. Hustle Nation, be productive, be profitable, figure out who's got your money, and then figure out how much money you want each year and make that happen.